From the Dialogue of St. Catherine of Siena. How virtues and defects are obtained through our neighbor. Sections 1. How every virtue and every defect is obtained by means of our neighbor. 2. How virtues are accomplished by means of our neighbor, and how it is that virtues differ to such an extent in creatures. 3. How virtues are proved and fortified by their contraries. In these sections of the dialogue, God, speaking through St. Catherine of Siena, explains that our neighbor, even a difficult one, serves as a means by which we can grow spiritually in the love of God by practicing our virtues. Here's how. Our neighbor provides opportunities to practice virtue. God explains that every virtue is obtained by means of our neighbor. He says we are obligated to love our neighbor as ourselves and to offer spiritual and temporal help as needed. When we fail to love, we not only injure our neighbor by depriving them of our support, but also injure ourselves by cutting ourselves off from grace. Difficult neighbors help us prove and fortify our virtues. God explains that we can prove our patience through interactions with a difficult, injurious neighbor. He states that we prove our humility in the face of pride, our faith when faced with infidelity, our hope when encountering despair, and so on. God clarifies that the negativity of others does not diminish our own virtues. It instead provides an occasion to strengthen and demonstrate them. Love for God and neighbor are inseparable. God emphasizes that the love of God and the love of neighbor are intertwined. He states that the love we have for our neighbor flows from our love for God, and that we cannot truly love God without loving our neighbor. Acts of service and love towards our neighbor, even the difficult ones, become a manifestation of our love for God. God uses our neighbors to help us grow. God reveals that He intentionally created a world where people have different needs and talents, requiring us to rely on each other. This interdependence, God explains, necessitates acts of love and service, providing us with opportunities to practice virtue and grow in our love for God. Therefore, according to the sources, even our challenging neighbors are instruments through which we can cultivate our virtues and deepen our relationship with God. They present occasions to practice patience, humility, and other virtues, and by loving and serving them, we express our love for God. You can find a PDF version of the Dialogue of St. Catherine of Siena on the Internet Archive. Here's a link to the page where you can read or download it, or scan this QR code.